The Brooklyn Nets couldn't take a game from Big Bro over the weekend. The Knicks won again on Sunday, 114 and 104. So, of course, we got to talk hashtag Nets World. And best believe me, Ben Simmons is on the menu as well with Caleb of Brooklyn Netcast. Caleb, thanks for joining us, man. Thanks for hopping on, representing the fanalist out of here. How you feeling, man, before we get into this?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Thank you again for having me on. It's my second time here. It's always wonderful to talk to you.
All right, I see you got the green screen behind you. We should have CGI some Nets highlights so they can come out with the win. Friday, bro, they played the Knicks tough. They ultimately lost on the in the final seconds. But Sunday, got beat by 10. Give us your takeaways on the loss.
My biggest takeaway was Ben Simmons. It was, I think, his worst game to this point as a Brooklyn Net. He had 0 points, was scared to shoot the basketball again, did not want to drive, and it made it really easy to blitz Cam Thomas, because if I'm a defender and I'm defending Ben Simmons, I'm saying, you know what, he's not going to shoot. So Cam Thomas got doubled all game, and really just because of that and having no big men, and Nick Claxton and Day'Ron Sharpe both out, it was just really hard to play good complementary basketball, and they didn't, and they lost quite badly. Even though it was just 10, it felt much worse.
Yeah, I mean, you got guys like Cameron Johnson, 22 points, Dorian Finney-Smith, 16, Cam Thomas, 16, Jalen Wilson, 15, Noah Clowney, 13. You got guys scoring in double figures. I guess before we go even deeper on Ben Simmons, kind of talk about these guys tonight. Let's talk about the guys that did show up. Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas, give these guys their flowers on the night. How did they look?
So I thought it was a really good game from Cam Thomas. Obviously, you like the scoring numbers to be better, but what he was doing is getting blitzed, making the right read, giving it to the open man, and moving it around the horn on the perimeter. So I liked his passing and playmaking last night. And obviously, Cam Johnson, Jalen Wilson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Noah Clowney shot the basketball quite well as a collective group of wings. And two of those guys are just second-year guys, and there's two veterans there. So it's just something you really like to see. That was good basketball, good offensive sets, good plays.
All right, now let's talk about bad basketball, and that just happens to be talking about Ben Simmons. Our New York Post Knicks beat writer, Steph Bondy, tweeted, "It's hard to believe Ben Simmons was once an all-star who averaged 17 points. You mentioned him going scoreless on the night. Caleb, the confidence just ain't there, man. Is it safe to say that this is the official end to the Ben Simmons era in Brooklyn?
Oh, absolutely. I think the Nets are going to be really excited to get off his $40+ million next year, and it'll be really good for the team. But truly, I do feel bad for the guy. I feel for him. I think that back really killed him. You know, they say everything about the passing the ball there against the Hawks. Yeah. I just think the back to this point, he doesn't jump very high, doesn't move like he once did, and his confidence is just shot beyond belief.
Yeah, on the court, you got to have confidence, but when you're playing in New York, you for darn sure got to have that confidence. And there's just some highlights I woke up to this morning with him passing up an open, 5-foot jumper, and Ben Simmons before the back. He buries that, man, absolutely buries that. So I'm kind of with you in the sense where it's like, it's kind of sad to watch. It's almost like watching Mike Tyson fight the other day is watching Ben Simmons play basketball. All right, now let's look ahead a little bit, because currently the Nets are 5-9. They've gone on a little short momentum run here and there. They played some good basketball. They've got the Hornets and the 76ers this week in NBA Cup games. I mean, how big is this week for the Nets in terms of writing their story early in the season?
I think it's really big because a team like the Hornets has been pretty solid to this point, and this is where you're going to start deciding, are we on the level of the Hornets, who have been playing better than people thought they would, or are we going to be one of those bottom three teams? And as far as Philadelphia, that just matters who plays. They've been all over the place. They've not played good basketball. But if they're not playing all their guys, you got to snag one of those wins, or else this tank is really going to start rolling here sooner than later.
All right. 2 wins would be huge. They can get them to 7-9 and get some sort of momentum before they get next week. We're talking Golden State. We're talking about the elite in the NBA. Caleb, really quick, man, shout out your platform. Where can people find you?
We're mainly on X, Brooklyn Netcast, and also we are on Spotify with our podcast, and just talk anywhere Nets if you basically look at any social media platform. But again, I want to thank you for having me on. It's always wonderful talking Nets, and hopefully they play a little bit better this next week here.
All right, man. Thanks for hopping on with us.